Hi, it's Dave Diegelman with Equity Real Estate, and welcome to the March 2024 Southern Utah Real Estate Market Report. Let's look at the numbers. If we look at the number of listings that are on the market right now, we see right now we're up at 1580 versus last year, slightly higher at 1591. If we look at the sold listings right now, you can see it's been on a decline, seemingly, and I'll get to that in a minute. Right now we're at 283. Last year we were at 425. We normally do have a decline in the marketplace during the winter months. And if we look at active listings on their own, you can see that they're on the rise right now. Let's look at the sold median sales price. Right now we're at $485,000 and some change. And last year we're at $498,000 and some change. The median sales price does not reflect a particular home. It's just an overall average. So certain years we'll have more luxury properties sell, and other years we'll have more entry-level homes sell, and so that will affect the median price. So it's not a great index to base things on if the market's going up or down. Absorption rate in months. This is a critical factor. So right now we're at 4.05 months. You can see our low point was 3.77 months. And last year at the end of March, we were at 4.2 months. What this means is how many months worth of inventory we have versus the sales that we currently have. So this is a good measure for where the market's going. You can see it's going up because we're going into our spring buying season. Sold to list ratio, this is another fairly good indicator of where the market's going if there are corrections. And we'll talk about that in detail in the hard copy newsletter, which you can click on the link below in the description to see. But the sold to list ratio right now is at about 95.6% versus last year it was at 95.3%, so a slightly different market. You can see during the peak of the market in July, August, September, even back as far as June, it's 96 to 97% in that range there. So if you're a buyer, that means you can probably get a better deal right now than you can mid-spring, summer selling season. So days on the market, this has been fluctuating a little bit, but right now we're at 73.2%. Last year at the end of March, we were at 71.9%. And I will say that this is overall for the different marketing categories. The luxury market tends to be much longer. In fact, an average rule of thumb is for every $100,000 over $900,000 listing, you will have an added month on the market. So something that's listed at $1.5 million could take as long as 12 to 15 months to sell. And that's not that unusual in the properties that are over $1 million. Price volume, this is the overall dollar volume of closed sales, sold listings per month. And right now we're at 166.5 million versus last year was 295 million and some change at the end of March. Again, this is normal because our market starts going up again in March, so we should see that increase. Let's look down here and kind of look at the question I get all the time, especially right now, is are prices dropping? And we address this more again in the hard copy of the newsletter, but particularly in Washington County, there's a lot of price drops. In fact, 26% of the homes on the market have undergone price drops in the last few months. And so people see this because they look on websites like mine, or they look on Zillow, or they follow some type of website, and it shows that prices are dropping. Well, that's not really the reality. The reality is that there's a lot of speculation when homes get put on the market, and sometimes sellers will insist that their house gets put on at a certain amount, and the listing agent will put it on at that amount with the forewarning to the seller oftentimes that this really isn't where it should be priced. Let's put it on for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then let's take a look at what activity we're getting. If we're not getting the activity, we need to drop the price. Well, this is something that goes on all the time, but it's still rampant right now. And what we're seeing is the houses that are priced correctly, they're in line with the sold prices, not the other listing prices, but the sold prices. Those properties are typically gaining more attention, getting more showings, and going under contract, not having a challenge. But the properties that don't align with what the sold prices are for their particular neighborhood and their particular house, you got to listen to your realtor, because those ones have challenges and oftentimes will have to go through those price reductions before they sell. If they don't go through price reductions, oftentimes they will just weather out the market. The challenge with weathering out the market for a seller is you could come into a falling market and then you will be incrementally chasing the market down. Trust me, you don't want to see that. Now, while we don't have any indicators that our market is declining, in fact, it's the opposite right now. We are currently appreciating, and it's currently a seller's marketplace slightly. We could see a decrease in sales, and we could see a decrease in market values with homes. There's a lot of variables on the market. We have election years coming up and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's look at the categories of prices right here. So you can see the highest category is going to be in the $500,000 to $750,000 mark. And this has been our stronghold for quite a while right now. You can see that the second strongest category is going to be in the $750,000 to $1 million mark. The third highest category is going to be in the $1 million to $2 million mark. Excuse me. And so from these numbers, St. George has become a what I would call a luxury marketplace. Now, if you're coming from the San Francisco Bay Area or parts of Southern California, this might not seem like the luxury market, because really those are just kind of standard tract homes up until the $1.5 million marketplace, or $1.2 million marketplace anyway. But in southern Utah, this definitely represents kind of a luxury market, and to the rest of the United States. So we're not the most affordable place to live. However, you can see that the numbers have increased in the 300 and the 350 marketplace. And I kind of say this every month, that a lot of the mobile homes and double wides that are put on on lots and such are now coming into this realm right here. But also there's condos in that price range and other properties that are in that price range. Sometimes they need fixing up. And these numbers also boil into other parts of southern Utah other than Washington County, because Iron County and other counties often use our MLS service to put their listings on, because we're the largest in the lower of Utah. So those do skew those numbers right there. So prices aren't dropping right now. Again, if you would like to see the full report, there's some really interesting links that I put on there. We were looking at potential zoning changes and challenges with southern Utah, accessory dwelling units, and also purchasing homes in an IRA, in a real estate directed IRA. So I've got a lot of really interesting information in it this time. So again, that link is down in the description notes, and feel free to click on any of my social media sites and follow me on Facebook or Instagram. We post a lot of interesting information, not only on real estate, but I also post a lot of interesting photography and other things pertaining especially to southern Utah. So the parting words for March in our real estate items: where do leprechauns live? They live in leprechaundos. I know, bad joke. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in, and have an awesome 2024.